Have you ever found yourself in this situation? You text someone you truly like and then wait in silence. A minute passes, 2 minutes, then hours. She's online, posting on social media, but there's no reply to you. Your heart sinks and your mind spirals with questions. Did I do something wrong? Was I too eager? Or worse, does she just not care anymore? I understand how that feels, the disappointment, the confusion, and the blow to your self-esteem. But today, I want you to stop. Stop tormenting yourself. Remember this. Her silence isn't about you, it's about her. And in this very moment, you have the greatest opportunity to flip the script, to reclaim control. Welcome to today's video, where we'll explore the right way to respond when she ignores you. Guided by the philosophy of Stoicism, a timeless approach that has empowered millions to overcome life's greatest challenges. This isn't just about winning in relationships, it's about becoming the strongest, most self-controlled version of yourself. You might be wondering, why is she doing this? Is she testing me, or does she simply not care? The answer lies ahead in this video. We're not just going to analyze the psychology behind her silence. We'll also learn how to turn that silence into a tool that makes you stronger and unshakable. Before we dive in, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on more valuable lessons. If you're ready to take back your power and change how others perceive you, drop a comment below. I will master myself. Here's a thought to leave with you. Are you giving others control over your emotions, or are you ready to take it back? In the next section, we'll explore why silence can be the most powerful tool you possess. Let's begin this journey together, not just to handle her, but to rediscover yourself. To understand the problem, why is she ignoring you? Have you ever felt the sharp sting of being ignored? It's a peculiar kind of rejection, one that doesn't come with explanations or closure. She doesn't tell you what's wrong, she just stops replying. And as the hours or days go by, the silence grows louder. It's easy to spiral into overthinking. Did I say something wrong? Was I too eager? Does she not like me anymore? That silence, so deafening, begins to chip away at your confidence. Let's pause right here. I need you to hear this. Her silence isn't about you. Most of the time, it's not even personal. People act for their own reasons, sometimes out of self-interest, sometimes out of fear, and sometimes out of sheer carelessness. Maybe she's testing you, seeing how you'll react. Maybe she's busy with her own life, her work, or her friends. Or maybe, and yes, this can sting, she's just not as invested in you as you are in her. But here's the hard truth. None of these reasons matter. None of them. What matters, what truly defines you, is how you choose to respond to this silence. As men, we often tie our self-worth to how others, especially women, respond to us. When someone ignores us, it feels like an attack on our value. It's not just about a missed text, it's about the narrative we build in our minds. If she doesn't reply, maybe I'm not interesting enough. Maybe I'm not good enough. But let's dissect that for a moment. Is it fair to let someone else's behavior determine how you see yourself? Think about this. If a stranger ignored you in a crowd, would you assume you weren't worthy? Of course not. You'd brush it off, recognizing that their actions had nothing to do with you. The same applies here. Her ignoring you isn't a statement about your value as a man. It's a reflection of her choices, her priorities, or her lack of clarity. And here's the kicker. If you allow her silence to dictate your emotions, you're handing her all the power. Stoic philosophy gives us a powerful framework to deal with situations like this. At its core, Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we cannot. The Stoics remind us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. In this context, you cannot control whether she replies to your text. You cannot control her thoughts, her actions, or her interest level. What you can control is your response, and that response is where your true power lies. When you react emotionally, double texting, over-apologizing, or seeking her validation, you're giving away your strength. You're telling her, consciously or unconsciously, that her attention defines your worth. This is not the path of a strong man. Instead, the Stoic man recognizes the silence, accepts it, and moves forward with composure. He doesn't need an explanation or validation because he knows his value isn't up for negotiation. To truly understand how to respond, let's explore some common reasons why a woman might ignore you. She's testing you. Women often test men, consciously or subconsciously, to gauge their emotional stability. How you react to her silence tells her a lot about your character. If you panic, become needy, or lash out, it signals insecurity. But if you remain calm and composed, you demonstrate strength and self-control. She's preoccupied. Sometimes, life gets in the way. Work, family, and personal issues can consume her attention. It's not always about you. Sometimes, she simply doesn't have the mental space to engage. She's playing game. Some women use silence as a tool to gain power in a relationship. By keeping you guessing, they maintain the upper hand. This isn't a reflection of you, it's a reflection of their need for control. She's losing interest. Yes, this can be hard to hear, but sometimes silence is a sign that she's pulling away. If that's the case, chasing her will only push her further. She's unsure of herself. People often project their own insecurities onto others. Her silence might stem from her own doubts, fears, or confusion, not anything you've done. Here's the truth. Silence is a neutral action. It only gains meaning based on how you interpret it. If you see it as rejection, it becomes a wound. If you see it as a test, it becomes a challenge. If you see it as an opportunity, it becomes a chance to grow. The Stoics teach us to detach from the actions of others and focus on our own inner stability. When you stop reacting to her silence and start responding with strength, you reclaim your power. How to respond like a Stoic? Do nothing. Yes, you read that right. Don't text her again. Don't try to fix the situation. Her silence doesn't require your reaction. By doing nothing, you demonstrate that her actions don't dictate your emotions. Shift your focus. Instead of obsessing over why she's not replying, redirect that energy inward. Work on your fitness, dive into your hobbies, or set new professional goals. When you focus on self-improvement, you naturally become more attractive, not just to her, but to everyone around you. Reframe the narrative. Stop seeing her silence as rejection. Instead, view it as a moment of clarity, a reminder to prioritize yourself over someone who isn't prioritizing you. A man who respects himself doesn't beg for attention. He doesn't chase after someone who doesn't recognize his value. Respect yourself enough to walk away if she's not willing to engage. Ask yourself these questions. Why am I allowing someone else's behavior to dictate how I feel about myself? What can I do right now to improve myself rather than dwell on her silence? Am I reacting emotionally or responding with strength and composure? In the next section, we'll dive deeper into the specific mistakes men make when reacting to silence and how you can avoid falling into those traps. But for now, remember this. Her silence is not your responsibility. Your response is. The real question is, will you rise above the noise and become the man who commands respect? Let's find out. 10 mistakes to avoid. When she ignores you. When faced with a woman's silence, it's easy to let emotions take over. However, how you act in these moments determines whether you maintain your dignity and strength or lose control and value in her eyes. Many men fall into common traps that only worsen the situation, making them appear weaker while giving her more power. Let's break down these mistakes and why you need to avoid them. 1. Overreacting emotionally. When she ignores you, feelings of hurt and rejection can easily lead you to act impulsively. You start sending multiple messages, questioning her, or even expressing anger and demanding an explanation. While this may provide temporary relief, it ultimately makes you look desperate and undermines your position. Imagine this. You send her a text and she doesn't reply. An hour later, you send another text and then another by the evening. This doesn't just make you look needy, it also hands all the power over to her. Any response she provides afterward comes from pity, not respect. Worse yet, if emotions overwhelm you, you might send an angry message like, "Why aren't you responding? Did I do something wrong?" This is a fatal mistake. It not only damages your self-respect, but also erodes her attraction to you. Overreacting emotionally only shows one thing. you're letting her control you. Instead of reacting immediately, practice emotional control. Remember, her silence is not a problem that requires an instant solution. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is nothing. This helps you maintain your dignity while also sparking curiosity in her. 2. Seeking validation. Another major mistake men make when ignored is trying to seek validation from her. You might ask questions like, "Are you okay?" Or, "Did I do something to upset you?" Or even, "Is there something wrong between us?" While these questions may sound caring, they actually position you as weak and dependent. When you chase her attention, you send a clear message. You need her approval to feel secure. This doesn't just lower your value in her eyes, it also reveals a lack of self-reliance. Women are naturally drawn to men who are strong, confident, and independent, men who don't need constant reassurance from others. By questioning or trying to clarify the relationship, you not only destroy the image of strength, but also make her feel you lack the confidence to stand firm in your own worth. Remember, you don't need anyone to validate your value. Ask yourself, why am I looking for her approval? Am I placing my self-worth in someone else's hands? Focus on building internal confidence, and you'll find that her attention no longer feels necessary. 3. Focusing too much on her. Another common mistake is investing too much time and energy into someone who isn't truly reciprocating. You spend hours thinking about her, scrolling through her social media, and trying to decode every little action. But pause for a moment and ask yourself, is she doing the same for me? The reality is, if she's not replying or showing interest, pouring all your energy into her only harms you. You're wasting precious time that could be used to improve yourself, advance your career, or simply enjoy life. Women are attracted to men who have their own lives, who don't rely on anyone else to feel complete. When you focus all your attention on her, you miss the opportunity to build the image of an independent, confident, and attractive man. Instead of making her the center of your focus, redirect your energy toward yourself. Spend time working out, pursuing a new hobby, or learning a skill you've always wanted to try. By focusing on self-improvement, you not only better yourself, but also become more appealing to others, including her. When a woman ignores you, the most important thing you can do is remain calm and avoid overreacting. Don't seek her validation or waste valuable time analyzing her actions. Instead, focus on yourself and build a life you're proud of. Ask yourself, am I acting based on emotions or reason? Am I seeking my worth through her attention? Am I wasting energy on someone who doesn't truly value me? In the next section, we'll dive deeper into how to use Stoic principles to reclaim your power and build the image of a strong, confident, and unshakable man. Get ready to step up and become the best version of yourself. So responding like a Stoic, reclaiming your power. When a woman ignores you, most men's immediate reaction is to let emotions take over, frustration, anger, or panic to fix the situation. However, emotional reactions won't lead to strength. Instead, adopt the mindset of a Stoic. Control yourself, maintain composure, and turn this situation into an opportunity for growth. This is how you reclaim your power and build the image of a strong, unshakable man. 1. A mindset of self-control. The power is yours. Stoic philosophy teaches, control what you can, yourself. This simple principle forms the foundation of true self-mastery. When she goes silent, you can't control her actions, but you can always control your reaction. Distinguish between two things: what you can't control, her thoughts, emotions, and actions. What you can control, your own emotions, thoughts, and actions. Men often waste immense energy trying to change what's beyond their control, but ask yourself, if I can't make her reply, why should I let this disrupt my peace of mind? Only by focusing inward can you truly regain control. For example, instead of thinking, why isn't she replying to me? Shift your focus to, what can I do right now to better myself? This not only helps you preserve your self-respect, but also puts you in charge of your own life. 2. Practice the power of silence. Stop chasing. When she ignores you, many men respond by bombarding her with texts or desperately seeking her attention. But this is the fastest way to lose your power. Remember, true power doesn't need to prove itself. What is the power of silence? No texting. No questioning. No seeking explanations. Instead, you act as though her silence doesn't affect you. By maintaining calm and confidence, you send a powerful message. I don't need her to feel complete. Imagine this. She checks her phone and sees no additional messages from you. You're not asking why she's silent or trying to reconnect. This will make her wonder, why isn't he reaching out? What's changed about him? Your silence becomes a tool for creating curiosity and reclaiming power. Silence isn't about playing games or seeking revenge. It's about demonstrating that you have self-control and aren't ruled by others' actions or emotions. 3. Redirect energy toward yourself. Instead of wasting time and energy trying to decode her actions, redirect all that energy inward. This is your chance to invest in yourself, build a life you're proud of, and become the best version of yourself. Ways to redirect your energy. Physical development, start a fitness routine, take up a sport, or focus on improving your health. A healthy body not only makes you feel better, but also boosts confidence. Skill development. Learn a new skill you've always wanted to try. Play an instrument, learn programming, or take a professional course. Pursue your passions. Reignite hobbies you've neglected due to being overly focused on others. Spending time on your personal interests restores balance. Set goals and take action. Write down long-term goals and take steps to achieve them. Focusing on the future prevents you from obsessing over her silence. When you invest in yourself, you don't just become stronger, you become more attractive. A man focused on personal growth exudes an irresistible charm, not only to her, but to everyone around him. 4. Create mystery. When you don't need her, she'll want to know why. The allure of mystery is one of the most powerful tools you can use. When you don't react, don't chase, and don't seek her attention, you create a void that she can't help but want to fill. People are naturally drawn to what they can't fully understand. When you don't need her to feel complete, she will start wondering, why doesn't he need me? What's happening in his life? Imagine you stop texting her, but instead post stories or photos about your positive, fulfilling life, a trip, an exciting project, or a new hobby. Not to brag, but to subtly show that you're thriving without her. This not only makes you more attractive, but also reinforces your value. How you respond when ignored isn't about her, it's about you. It's about how you define your value and act as a strong, self-assured man. By practicing self-control, embracing the power of silence, redirecting your energy toward yourself and creating mystery, you don't just reclaim your power, you become the best version of yourself. Ask yourself, am I focusing on what I can control? How can I use this situation to grow instead of letting it hurt me? Is she more important than my own personal development? In the next section, we'll explore how to build a life full of value, where you lead and are no longer influenced by anyone else. Continue this journey to becoming an unshakable man. Winning the psychological game. Conquering through composure. When a woman ignores you, it's natural to feel hurt and want to restore the connection. But the truth is, the more you try, the more you lose control. Instead, step back, let silence become your ally, and use Stoic principles to turn the situation to your advantage. Remember, winning the psychological game isn't about changing her behavior. True victory lies in controlling your emotions and building a sense of self-worth so powerful that she cannot ignore you. Here's how you do it. 1. The inversion effect, when no reaction is the strongest reaction. One of the most powerful psychological tools you can use is the inversion effect. It's simple, yet effective. By not reacting, you force her to question why. Imagine this. She expects you to keep texting, expressing disappointment, or trying to gain her attention. Instead, you remain completely silent. This creates curiosity. She begins to wonder, why isn't he reacting? What's changed about him? This is how you break her ego without doing anything. The inversion effect works because it taps into human psychology. We are always drawn to what we cannot explain. When you don't react, you become a mystery she cannot ignore. Important note, this is not about manipulating or playing mind games. It's about reclaiming your control by refusing to engage in emotional patterns she might be deliberately provoking. 2. Maintain the position of a leader. Win by mastering yourself. You don't need to conquer her. Conquering yourself is the greatest victory. This is the core of Stoic philosophy. When your goal is to conquer someone else, you rely on external factors to feel complete. But when you focus on mastering yourself, you become a strong, independent man who cannot be shaken. Ask yourself, am I letting her control my emotions, or am I taking charge of myself? Maintaining the position of a leader doesn't mean trying to dominate or control her. It means owning yourself, living by your values and goals regardless of her actions. How to maintain leadership. 1. Act with confidence. Continue living your life as usual, focusing on what matters to you. 2. Show self-control. Never let her silence or actions make you lose your composure or act impulsively. 3. Lead by example. Show her that you are a strong, confident man who is not influenced by others' behavior or opinions. A true leader doesn't need to prove himself with words. He proves himself with actions by staying calm and continuing to move forward. 3. Reaffirm your self-worth. Become unshakable. Ultimately, the greatest victory in the psychological game is reaffirming your self-worth. This means recognizing that you don't need her attention or validation to feel valuable. Remember, the man who is not ruled by emotions is truly strong. She might ignore you, but that doesn't diminish your worth. You are still a man with goals, talents, and unique value. Once you realize this, you no longer feel the need to fight for her attention. Steps to reaffirm your self-worth. 1. Self-evaluation. Take time to ask yourself, am I doing this for her or for myself? 2. Personal growth. Invest in aspects of your life that you can control, your career, health, or personal interests. 3. Show your value through action. You don't need to talk about what you're doing. Let your achievements and growth speak for themselves. A man who knows his worth doesn't seek validation from others. He creates fulfillment and happiness from within. That self-confidence makes him impossible to ignore. Winning the psychological game isn't about trying to change someone else. It's about controlling yourself and living true to your values. Remember, when you don't react, you hold the power. When you maintain a leadership mindset, you demonstrate internal strength without needing to prove it. When you reaffirm your self-worth, you become a man who cannot be shaken. Finally, ask yourself, am I giving others control over my emotions? Am I acting as the leader of my own life? Am I confident enough to recognize my worth without needing validation from anyone? Keep building the image of a strong, confident, and independent man. By conquering yourself, you not only win the psychological game, but also create a life you can truly be proud of. In life, and especially in love, true strength comes from mastering yourself, not from trying to control or change others. When you stop letting her silence disrupt your peace of mind, you reclaim your power. Remember, a strong man doesn't chase validation. He lives with purpose, confidence, and self-respect, becoming someone no one can ignore. Focus on your self-improvement, maintain composure, and let your actions reflect your value. The psychological game isn't something you need to win, because the real victory is becoming an unshakable leader in your own life. When you live this way, not only do you inspire respect, but you also build a life you're proud of. Now, it's your turn to act. Take control of your emotions, focus on your growth, and create the life you deserve. If this message resonates with you, share your thoughts in the comments. I choose to master myself. And don't forget, this journey doesn't end here. Hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss valuable insights like this. Together, let's build a community of strong, confident men who live with purpose. Let's start now.